5'10". He's a junior from Peoria, played at Central High. We're just about set to get underway. Illinois moving left to right. Indiana with Andre Harris to jump center, along with number 24, Ephraim Winters. Burlsell, the referee, puts it in the air, and the tip will be controlled by Illinois. That's Douglas. And Weisinger will walk it across the line. So Illinois gets its first attack at the basket. Watch to see how Indiana shifts and adjusts its man. Outside Anthony Welch. Inside knocked away. That's good help defense by Indiana. And here comes Rick Callaway. Callaway with a delayed pump. It's blocked effectively underneath by Anthony Welch. Off the rim is no good. The follow on the weak side of the basket by Bruce Douglas, and Illinois takes the first two.
Yeah. That's how Illinois can really hurt you. If Indiana plays good defense, they can force Illinois into a tough shot, but if they give up that easy rebound basket, the defense you just used all goes for naught. That time Douglas snuck in there for the rebound.
The Hoosiers down by just a basket. We're just underway at Assembly Hall in Champaign. Off the rim. The first tip is up. It's no good. Off the rim, and we have a foul over the back as Alford's shot was short off the front of the rim, and Andre Harris picks up his first personal.
Andre Harris coming off his best game at Ohio State last Sunday. Did a pretty good job on Brad Sellers and stayed out of foul trouble. That was the whole key to Andre's good game. And here, not a minute in the ball game, he's picked up his first foul. So Andre's got to be careful. He's got a tough job. He's guarding Norman. There's Lou Henson, the Illinois coach.
I talked to Andre during the week, John and Joe, and we brought up just that matter. He said that he attributes a lot of it to just his overzealousness, his over-anxiousness to get inside, and he forgets what he has to do, his role playing. First turnover of the game. So Illinois gives the ball up to Indiana in front of its own bench. It's Callaway with Winston Morgan bringing it across, and Alford will move down. Indiana is running sort of a mid-range offense. Here's the steal. Douglas will take it all in by himself. Off the board, tried to draw the foul, but Callaway laid off. So Douglas has Illinois' first two field goals, and the Illini lead 4-0.
Not surprising, as Douglas leads the Big Ten in steals and assists. He gets 3.3 steals a ball game.
Off the short side of the rim by Thomas, and Thomas, in an effort to get in and pick up the board, has picked up his first personal foul.
Illinois is also a very good defensive team, Chuck. Coach Knight describing the action. And even when Darryl Thomas is able to get the ball, good pressure. They lead the conference in field goal defense, and they're first in scoring defense. So expect a low-scoring game here, as both these teams like to concentrate on their defense.
We've played nearly 2 minutes. It's 4-0 Illinois as Douglas pops it from outside. Douglas 2 years ago just had a phenomenal game shooting over Robinson. He'd taken it to the top of the key, stop, fall back, and score. I think he had 27 points that night. Just really a very strong performance by the senior from Quincy, Illinois. Callaway from the corner. It's no good. And once again, Illinois against the cold shooting Hoosiers, leading 6-0 and a chance to take an 8-point lead. Weisinger, and it goes inside the Winters. Weisinger from free throw range, and it's good. Indiana's down by 8, looking over to the Indiana bench. The Hoosiers not panicking yet. They're not looking for any adjustments. The shots are just not falling, John.
Indiana's getting a good shot. So is Illinois, but Illinois has capitalized on them. Now the crowd's starting to get in the ball game. Indiana's got to continue to run their offense. Look inside when they can.
The Hoosiers are 0 for 4, and every one of the shots, ironically, has been short. Harris from outside. That's off the back of the rim, and the rebound to the Illini's Anthony Welch. 17 minutes remaining in the first half. It's 8-0 Illinois. They're on the verge of opening this up early. Weisinger under the, oh, that's just a great give and go. He misses the basket. And it's loose. No, it's not safe. Burlsell says out of bounds, Illinois. Well, when it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, it's horrible.
Well, that's the inside game that I mentioned. Indiana's going to try to prevent that pass from coming inside, but Norman and Winters are two big players in there. They're fighting for position constantly. That time Welch was wide open but missed the shot.
Indiana just cannot get to the boards. They have 1 rebound. Illinois with 7 already. We played 3.5 minutes. Douglas partially blocked. Now the Hoosiers with a chance to close that margin to 6. Alford handling the ball for the second time, trying to direct the offense. Morgan looking underneath. Callaway back, shot clock, not a factor. This capacity house of over 16,000 rooting for the Illini. There's one from the corner as Alford gets behind his screen and hits Indiana's first 2.
We've seen Steve Alford do that all year long. He just works around those picks, even against the league's best defensive guard. And Bruce Douglas, he's able to get open with a good pick. Doesn't take him long to set that jump shot and get it away.
Ephraim Winters, what a great game he had against Michigan. And Indiana has really tried to key its defense against the inside game. There's a block, and it's going to be a foul and a block against Darrell Thomas, his second personal. So Thomas, averaging 13.9 points in Big Ten play, 15.5 over the season, has picked up personal foul number 2. And we have timeout at Assembly Hall in Champaign. You're watching Indiana basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. Indiana trails Illinois 8-2. Morgan, baseline, is partially blocked, gets it right back, puts it up and scores. 8-4. The Hoosiers with 2 unanswered baskets. Weisinger is definitely a factor out there on that floor, John. Even only at 5'10", he gets into both ends of the court.
He's very quick. He also likes to lead a fast break, so look for Illinois to fast break more today.
Overplay by Andre Harris, and the Hoosiers come up with a ball. No drag of the foot. Alford down to the baseline, over to Callaway. Good. Now the Hoosiers back in at 8-6.
Smart play by Andre Harris that time, as he is not a point guard. He can't bring the ball down the floor. He held it up and got it to a player who could in Alford, and then a good shot by Callaway. So Indiana a lot more involved in the offense now, and you can see him put more points on the board.
Douglas looking inside. We have a foul as contact underneath substitution. Now take that back. It's not. That's Ken Norman. Ken Norman and apparently Andre Harris. But what's the call?
I think they just banged into each other, Chuck. The referee stopped the game to give a warning. Now the ball goes out of bounds to Illinois. Unusual call.
It sure is. Inside, steal by Thomas. Up to Morgan. And he'll solo. Gets the basket and draws the foul. That is good singular effort by Winston Morgan.
I wonder how he got through all those people. The foul goes against Illinois, and Winston went on the fast break. Let's watch him now. He's leading it from the right side. He wants to try to get to the middle if he can on a fast break. A crossover drill brings him to the middle, and he splits right through the defense, and Weisinger gets called. And somehow Winston, look at Winters right on his back. He gets the shot away. Indiana right back in the ball game now with 8 straight points.
And that's where we stand, tied at 8. Winston with a chance to give Indiana its first lead. We're at the 14:30 mark, and there it is. Morgan with 5 already to lead the Hoosiers.
Very important to stay with Illinois. If Illinois is able to get a lead, especially at the Assembly Hall here, they can be in trouble. So Indiana's done a good job of coming back from that 8-0 deficit.
Indiana's shooting percentage, Joe Smith, has to have picked up.
Oh, 4 for 11 now. 36% seems slight, but that's better than 1 for 9.
Post inside, and Norman throws it over the bucket. Morgan there to pull it away. Alford, he already has 1 field goal. Callaway, good stutter step. Harris outside to the line. Indiana looking at motion and playing against, it looks like boxing 1, John. Maybe not.
Man-to-man that time, and Douglas just all over Alford, so he couldn't get away on a pick.
Welch misses. Harris high to pull it down. The inside part, the reason why I said boxing 1, the inside part of the defense was very stationary. Alford apparently was the only Hoosier that was moving. There's a good wheel by Steve. Behind the back pass.
Good patience by Indiana. You see Alford almost forced one, and Andre almost forced a shot, and now Steve comes right back from the top of the key. So very patient offense by Indiana led to that basket.
And the Hoosiers have taken a 3-point lead, 11-8. Ticking down to the 13-minute mark, first half. Morgan has his hands full. Douglas, quite a guard.
Watch the battles inside. You see Winters right there on Thomas trying to get position.
Here's Blackwell, firing and scoring. Glenn Blackwell. He's a 6'4" sophomore from Highland Park, Michigan. His first 2. We are at a situation where there's just 1 point difference in this game. Indiana 11-10. They had trailed 8-0. And the Hoosiers, with a lot of patience, have worked their way back into this game, going with their starting five. Harris looking inside. Oh, there's a good lob into Harris. He goes right back up and draws the foul. I think the one thing, John, that Harris has as an asset is his ability to take lob passes such as that, turn and go right back up.
He's a great leaper. He's got to stay in the ball game and stay away from that foul trouble, except for that first foul. He's done a good job. But I think, again, that Ohio State game really built his confidence. You can see he's not shooting very well from the line, but I think as time goes on, he'll get better at that. And this is going to be a big game for him also. Illinois is a very big physical team in there, and that's the kind of team Andre's got to learn to play against.
Harris, 72% from the stripe, hits both. He has 2. And the Hoosiers are back by 3, 13-10. 12.5 minutes left in the first half from Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois, home of the Fighting Illini. Douglas taking Morgan down. And Norman goes in for the stop. Andre Harris, just what you were talking about, John, gets behind the play and commits the foul.
You see Winston Morgan coming right over to talk to Andre. He gave up that baseline position with a good pass here, and now it's too late. Let him go and take that basket, because you're going to cause a foul here is what's happened. And look how excited Norman got after he makes that basket. That'll spur him on to try it again the next time down the floor. So Andre's picked up his second foul.
Ken Norman with a chance to tie the game. 6'8" junior from Peoria.
He leads the conference in field goal percentage, an excellent shooter from the outside. 63% of his field goals. He's 6th in free throw percentage, 6th in the league in scoring. Norman's really been the strong player for Illinois this year.
We're tied at 13. Indiana all alone in second place in the conference. Illinois tied with Purdue for third.
Now you see a 2-3 zone, Chuck.
Here's Alford. Tries to take it in. Oh, that's a good shot. I don't know how high the percentage was on that shot, but it was good penetration by Alford and just gave him the confidence he needed.
Right, that's the way to beat that zone, but I think Coach would rather have Winston drive the ball inside and dump it back outside to Alford at the top of the key. A good shot by Winston.
Douglas picks the ball up. Norman goes over Callaway, scores again.
Little mismatch there. Norman goes 6'8", 215, and a very experienced inside player. Callaway is on well, so there must have been a switch inside there to get that matchup.
Callaway, look at that penetration, knocked away. Alford tries to go after the ball. Here comes the Illini. Oh, that's a walk. Burl Sal, I do have to congratulate you on that one. You were a little bit trailing the play, which is where you should have been, but you made the appropriate call. Traveling, the turnover on Illinois gives the ball to Indiana, but first we have a timeout. You're watching Indiana basketball at Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois. Indiana and the Illini tied at 15.
Chuck and Laz. Indiana hitting now 7 of 12, 58%. The Illini 6 of 13. Let's make that the other way around. Illinois 58%, but the Hoosiers with a super run of 11-0 after trailing 8-0 in the last 4 minutes. They've done the scoring, so that's the story stat-wise, and the boards are improving a bit too.
Lou Henson in his 11th year here at Illinois, 213 wins, looking for his 214th, and of course Bobby Knight, 332 career wins at IU, and would certainly like to take 3 threes into next Sunday's big gamble at Purdue. That could be a winning hand. Well, they called turnover against Alford as he shifted down on the baseline, getting ready to either look for the pass or set up for the shot. That's the Hoosiers' third turnover.
You can see what kind of job Douglas does on Steve. If you get a chance, watch the defense Douglas puts on him, and Steve's really got to come off some picks to get Douglas away from him so he has time to get the shot away.
Glenn Blackwell, and there's Alford off him as the count had probably reached 3 or 4 before the pass. Now Blackwell again. They're looking for anything to open up on the drive. Gets him in the air. and draws the foul. And on Callaway, that will be his first.
Smart play by Douglas that time as he took Callaway, got his feet off the ground, and then Douglas knew exactly what to do. Lean right into him and get that foul. Indiana cannot afford to foul as much as they have early in the ball game. That will favor Illinois as the game wears on.
15 foul against Indiana. Illinois with only 2. And here's Douglas at the line shooting. My God, he missed everything on that. A lot of times you see him throw an air ball up short or maybe hit the back of the rim. That was wide off the right side.
He said 86% free throw shooter in the Big Ten, but not what you wouldn't think so by looking at those two.
We're still tied at 15. Neither team able to find the range. A little dry spell here. And a foul. And that's going to go against Douglas. His first. And the third Illinois team foul. 10.5 minutes left, first half. 15-15 if you just joined us. Indiana and Illinois, an important Big Ten contest game tonight. The Illini, with a big win, could temporarily move out of a tie for third place, and Indiana all alone in second, a half game behind Michigan. Hoosiers still using a lot of patience, working the ball around. They will exercise that prerogative to try to get it set up and get the best shot until time runs out. We have 22 seconds on the shot clock. Tries that lean in. It won't go. Callaway down to the floor. Here come the Illini on the break. Norman, and he walks with the ball. Now they call jump ball, and it goes to Indiana. I think one way or the other that call would have been in Indiana's favor. It appeared that Norman might have been walking with it rather than jump ball, but we're not going to question that.
See, Illinois really likes to work that fast break when they can. There you see the halftime score. Ohio State 42, Purdue 38. Another big battle in the Big Ten tonight.
Here's Alford. Douglas doing a great job just following him all over the court. And around we go. Inside. Tipped up and in. Good effort. Second effort off the board by Andre Harris.
That's the other way Andre Harris can really help. See the halftime score in another good ball game, Michigan State. Andre doesn't necessarily have to score from the outside. He's got to play some good defense, and he gets a few offensive rebounds. That'll be a big help. Again, this will be a low-scoring game, so each point becomes more and more important.
Down on the corner to Welch. No good. Banged off the board. Here comes Alford with the rebound. The Hoosiers by 2. Harris, oh, that's a great lob, great assist. The foul, the basket will count. And Daryl Thomas has his first field goal.
I give Daryl Thomas credit here as he keeps the defense on his hip and then leaps after the ball. Once the ball's in the air, Welch comes over to help, but Daryl goes up strong. And what a big difference he made in that first game as he came in and got 30 points. So you see number 30, Scott Mentz checking into the ball game for the Illini.
Mentz is 6'10", a senior from Kankakee. Played at Herscher. Thomas with his first free throw. His 3 points now put the Hoosiers in front by 5. Joe Smith.
Biggest lead of the ball game.
We have 8:39 left to play in the first half, and the Hoosiers with the 5-point lead as Scott Mentz handling it for the first time. Comes back. Ephraim Winters. Lob to Mentz. It won't fall. Rebound to Thomas.
Tough matchup that time for Indiana as Callaway was guarding Mentz. Mentz goes 6'10", 230 pounds, and Mentz missed that shot.
Alford drops right over and hits 2. Steve has 8 to lead both teams. Indiana by 7, 22-15 with 8 minutes remaining. Douglas takes it in and doesn't get the ball to fall. That's a good opportunity. Illinois appearing to be a little out of discipline.
The whole key to the ball game so far has been the rebounding. Indiana's only giving up 1 shot to Illinois each time down the floor. Andre Harris and Daryl Thomas really doing the job inside.
Off the board hard. Out comes Illinois. Rebounds now 9-11. Indiana with a lead. Mentz turnaround, and it's hard off the glass. Boy, I'll tell you, they're crashing hard. That's going to be a foul against Indiana. You know, there's a lot of size out there on that court right now. Daryl Thomas has picked up his 3rd personal, and Indiana will go to the bench. Here's Todd Meyer, junior from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, has been playing pretty well recently. But before we return to action, we have a timeout. You're watching Indiana basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. The Hoosiers lead the Illini 20 in Champaign, Illinois. There's the score, 22-15 Indiana. And Joe Smith, you pointed out just a moment ago, a key in this game will be the effectiveness of each team playing on the floor in terms of turnovers.
Just the little things. You know, they only committed 6 turnovers. Indiana the entire 40 minutes back in Bloomington, and Chuck through, 12 minutes here in the first half. They've committed only 3. They've hit all of their free throws. And Illinois, you know, they lead the Big Ten in free throw shooting, but yet they're 1-3. It's the little things, and I tell you what, when you don't turn the ball over, that just gives you more opportunities to score yourself. And as John pointed out, there may not be very many points scored tonight.
Indiana makes his first substitution, Todd Meyer, replacing Daryl Thomas, who sits down with 3 fouls. He had 30 points against the Illini earlier this year. Illinois down by 7. See how well they work to set it up. It goes inside to Norman. It's no good. Right back to Crash's Mintz. Well, he found the alley, and Scott Mintz has his first field goal. It's 22-17.
That big substitution with Mintz in there. Illinois now goes 6'9", 6'8", and 6'10" in that front line, and Indiana's outmanned inside.
Reverse. Out of Callaway. There's Harris on a fall away. Oh, yes. Oh. A lot of stuff on that ball. It could have worked for him or against him, and it went the first way.
Looks like Andre's got a little better touch when he goes right into the shot. Oftentimes he hesitates and loses the momentum, but that time he got on the baseline, turned quickly, in, out, and back in again.
Down to Norman. Back out to Douglas. Illinois wants to work it in as close as they can. Here's Douglas from about 11 feet, maybe 13 feet. He has 8, averaging 8.7.
He's not known for his scoring, but if you give him that open shot, he must really like to play against Indiana. Chuck, as you mentioned, 2 years ago, had a great game, and now already at his game average, still with 6 minutes to go in the half.
Illinois playing in the man here behind a screen set up by Meyer. Alford faked the shot. Hoosiers looking for the opportunities. And as Joe Smith indicated, by virtue of the short turnovers, have failed to make the mistakes that have cost them in previous games. Douglas pulls up at the line, misses, and is chased down by Meyer.
Good defense on the fast break as 2 Hoosiers got back, and they forced Douglas to pull up with a 15-footer. Obviously a lot better than giving up that layup.
24-19. Indiana by 5. Callaway, yes. Callaway has 4. The Cincinnati Withrow freshman, averaging 14.8 on the year, 14-2 in conference play. 26-19 Indiana at the 5-minute mark, first half. Douglas trying to get something moving. It just appears that Illinois wants to try to ease it down, John, like sort of squeezing the tube out of toothpaste.
Or the toothpaste out of
the tube. There's another effort inside. You're right, and there's the help by Indiana. And he turns it over. And looking at Bob Knight, that's just pictorial right there. Just settle down. You're doing all right.
All right, Indiana up 7 points now, 4:44 to go in the half. There you see the turnovers. Indiana with the big advantage. And this is where you can run that shot clock. Lou Henson directing his troops out there, but Illinois is going to continue to pound it inside. They've got that height advantage. So when Indiana's got the ball, they've got to slow it down, slow this game down, and try to get that good shot.
It's Norman off the board, and he scores. Ken Norman has 7. That's a big offensive rebound for the Illini. They're back to within 5. 26-21 is the score. Clock running. 4:15 left in the first half. Both Callaway and Harris cut underneath the basket. Here's Harris fall away again. He knows where it is, but that time it didn't fall. And now with 4 minutes remaining, Illinois can pull to within 3. Glenn Blackwell, and we have a foul. It goes against Indiana. Tom Rucker making the call.
So Illinois' got the right strategy here as they start to get Indiana in foul trouble. They still try to pound that ball inside. That's 2 on Callaway. Indiana with 10 players dressed, so I think you're going to see a lot of substitution if the foul situation continues to go as is. But Illinois' got such a big team in there. Indiana's doing all they can to keep that ball just from coming inside for easy layups.
Foul was on Callaway, his second. That's the 7th against the Hoosiers as Scott Mintz hits the free throw. You were talking about the height in the lineup right now for Illinois. 6'10", 6'9", 6'9", 6'7", and 6'4". Misses the second. (26-22). Alford had a little room. The lob inside. That was over the rim. Here comes the Illinois attack. Inside is Douglas, misses, and the rebound to Meyer.
Good fast break by Douglas that time. He took it all the way and just missed it.
Alford's all alone. He'll fire from there and score. That is just about automatic.
Illinois has gone into that 2-3 zone now, and Douglas has been on the other side of the floor the last 2 times. This time Alford gets the shot.
Is this something that Alford looks for? Does he look to see how Douglas is coming back down, go to the opposite side, John?
I think he looks to see who's guarding him. He's just looking to see if he's open, and then he's going to go right after. He knows if Douglas is on a man-to-man, it's going to be tougher for him to get open. So when he's got that open shot, he's got to take it.
Norman's 9th point makes it 28-24, Indiana. Here's a mismatch. Scott Mintz out on Alford.
What Illinois will do is put their big man outside in the point of that zone to try to stand in the way of the smaller Indiana guards. There's a turnover as Todd Meyer gets called for traveling.
And we have another substitution. Weisinger back in for Illinois, and Steve Isle for Indiana as we have timeout on the floor. You're watching Indiana basketball at Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois. Pretty even following a deficit of 8-0. They allowed Illinois to build that lead, and then Indiana came back with 11 unanswered points to take the lead. And since that time have maintained first a 7-point lead, then a 5 several times on exchanges at both ends, and now a 4-point lead, 28-24. Joe?
Last 6 minutes, Chuck. Indiana's hit 6 of their last 9 for 67% to keep their head above water. The biggest lead has been 7 points on 3 different occasions. Indiana 22-15, 24-17, and 26-19. Right now, 28-24, Chuck, with 2:39 to play.
The exchange of points has been costly for Indiana. They have 2 players with 2 fouls. That would be Harris and Callaway, and Darrell Thomas on the bench with 3. Weisinger guarded by Alford. Here's Blackwell as Morgan moves over to him. Douglas is out of the lineup. Blackwell fires off the front of the rim. There's a rebound to Winters, or to Welch. Ephraim Winters, rather. Let's make that 24. His first basket, it's 28-26.
2 rebound baskets you saw in the replay after that timeout. It was Norman with a rebound basket, and now Winters comes in there with the rebound. So now that's what I talked about in the open. Illinois has got the lineup in there that can take advantage of their height and score on rebound baskets.
Behind a screen, Alford, dead-eye. He has 12.
Well, it's amazing. When he gets the ball, Chuck, a little groan kind of goes over this assembly hall. When he's open, the fans almost think he's going to make that. And it's amazing how many times he can get open and make that shot. You kind of get upset with him when he misses one that's wide open.
Norman baseline. That's an easy 2 for Ken Norman. And you see the height advantage. Illinois, when they're able to take Indiana low, at that distance, it's almost, once again, automatic.
Indiana's got to play tougher on the defensive end, prevent that ball from even coming inside there. And there again, Alford, this time the top of the key.
Well, John, they're going to have to make an adjustment, get somebody bigger over on him.
They tried to put Mintz there at the top, but Steve gets in these kind of shooting sprees where he just gets hot and he's tough. But Illinois comes right back down the other end. They force the ball inside.
There's a triple. It's off into the hands of Alford, and he's fouled by Weisinger. Interesting, you should talk about rhythms of shooting. We were talking to Sam Alford before the game, Steve's father, and I asked him specifically what was Steve's problem at the line. He had gone 17 for 25 in a spurt there, Joe. 15 of 16 the last time, however, at Ohio State. And I asked him, what was the problem? I said, is it rhythm? Is his flex right or what? And he says, quite frankly, he said, I haven't analyzed him there, but he said, I think it was his mind. He said, I think he was really looking when he had the ball in his hand, let's shoot this quickly, rather than thinking about let's get the ball over the front of the rim. So the confidence factor, I think, maybe was something.
Well, he's got his confidence today. He's come down, and even off one pass, if he's been open, he's taken that shot.
32-28, Indiana, 4-point lead, 34 seconds remaining, first half. Alford, oh, he squares up, and it doesn't fall. Tipped out of bounds. It's going to be Indiana ball. Well, I don't know, Burl. You might be right. You're closer to it than we are, but it certainly looked as if Todd Meyer might have had a hand on it.
There's a situation where Steve was open, but Indiana may have wanted to run that clock down a little more. 27 seconds left, so Indiana can run this down to about 5 seconds, take a shot. But again, Steve felt he was open and could make that shot, so he let it fly. Now you see Winston and Steve playing catch. They'll probably wait till about 10 seconds and try to attack and get a final shot of the half.
Does 32-28 Indiana right now surprise you a little bit, John?
Well, I knew it'd be a low-scoring game, and especially after the start. Illinois up 8-0. Looked like Indiana was in trouble. They came right back to get a lead.
Double screen. Alford has it knocked out of his hands. 1 second. He gets the shot off. It goes. It counts. Oh, boy, that is cutting it right to the finest edge. My, oh, my, oh, my. Steve Alford with 16 points to lead both teams in the first half, and that last one coming just as the ball released his fingers and the buzzer sounded. Well, we've come to the end of the first half of play. It's been an exciting first half with a lot of parameters and a lot of exchanges, and Indiana coming back from an 8-0 deficit. The score, Indiana 34, Illinois 28. We'll be back to check on individual scoring in just a minute.
We'll stay with that. And the turnovers, that's another key important factor there, as Indiana has turned it over only 6 times. The scoring led by Steve Alford with 14. Good balance there. Harris playing well. Look for Callaway to get untracked in the second half offensively. Again, as John's been pointing out, the personal fouls, that could be the key. Thomas with 3 and 2 apiece for Harris and Callaway.
All right. We're just about set to get the second half underway. And the ball will go to Illinois. John, having been a player who played under the jump ball system back in 73, 74, and 75, do you think the alternate possession rule is accomplishing what the rules makers intended?
Well, Chuck, I'd rather see him throw the jump ball up, because a lot of times you'll think you got a mismatch there, and the little guy can often get it back for you. It's too predictable right now on who's going to get the ball. I'd rather see him jump it up. It add a little more excitement to the ball game.
We have some scores for you. We can pass along. 54-49 with 10 minutes remaining. Michigan State leads Michigan. That's an important contest, exceptionally important, because Michigan on the throws a 5-point deficit. Should they lose this contest, they would automatically fall back into a tie, at least temporarily, with the Hoosiers, and the Hoosiers with a win here tonight could take the lead. And we'd received word with 2 minutes remaining that Purdue had a 1-point lead, 49-48 over Ohio State. Okay, Weisinger with the ball inside. It goes in the first basket, second half to Ephraim Winters on the feed from Weisinger.
Indiana starts Todd Meyer inside with Daryl Thomas, those 3 fouls on the bench.
Well, that's what we talked about. And there's Meyer handling the ball. Hoosiers with a 4-point lead. The first 2 of the second half, however, go to the Illini. Indiana waiting very patiently. Any adjustments you see, John, defensively?
None right now. Illinois still in that man-to-man. Indiana having a tough time getting that open shot.
Morgan, top of the key, gets a soft roll, comes all the way back out, and Morgan gets the ball. Hoosiers get a break, and it resets the clock.
Well, watch Douglas and Alford battling inside there. Douglas has been run all over this floor, yet he still tries to stay with Steve best he can.
You saw Meyer come back for the ball, just momentarily stopped in front of Douglas. Here's Callaway from the corner. Oh, dead-eye. Callaway with Indiana's first basket starting the second half. The Hoosiers worked almost 90 seconds off the clock before they took that shot.
Well, that's exactly what they need to do with Daryl Thomas, the center, on the bench. Run time off the shot clock.
Weisinger's shot off the front of the rim. Here comes Morgan. Alford. Yes, sir. Steve Alford, he has 16 now.
All right. So I think that's 5 shots in a row, Chuck. He made the last 4 of that first half, and now he comes right down with a big shot there. He's on his game today.
Indiana's biggest lead, 38-30. We played 2 minutes. And it doesn't fall. Morgan again. How many rebounds does Morgan have? That's 4. Ephraim Winter's shot is short off the rim. Callaway takes the ball in. He's called for an offensive foul. Eric Harmon making the call. And on Rick, personal number 3.
Good lead pass that time. And there's Coach Knight's reaction. Joby Wright shaking his head. Didn't seem... All right, here we go. Rick Callaway driving inside. Here comes Winters.
Yep.
And the call goes against Indiana.
That's close. Indiana with Callaway and Thomas with 3 personals now. The Hoosiers in a lot of foul trouble. We still have a lot of time to play. Weisinger. Weisinger averages nearly 9 points. That's only his 2nd field goal. 38-32 as Illinois stays within striking range. You will not see Todd Meyer put the ball toward the basket too many times unless he really gets a solo inside. He's more or less a release man, good block out, and will be a screener. There he is, sets a screen for Callaway.
Saw him in the lobby at the hotel today with his mom and dad down from Wisconsin. They said it was about a 5-hour drive, and they just wanted to come down and see the ball game, and I'm sure they're pleased to see Todd playing as much as he has today.
Alford. Now Alford and Callaway on the same side of the floor. And he puts it up, forces it up, and no foul to Douglas. Illinois can move to within 4. Norman. And Douglas works it down baseline, scores.
Well, Douglas made a tough shot that time as he was driving to the left, had to turn back to his right to square up to the basket. Illinois right back in the ballgame.
It's 38-34 to Callaway. And it won't fall, and we have a foul. I think that's going against Illinois. Let's wait to see. Verl Sell makes the call. It might be Weisinger. And it is. Weisinger, that's Tony's 3rd.
Indiana with good rebound position that time, and Weisinger got called for a push in the back. Out of bounds to Indiana.
Pushing and shoving going on right now. Sell steps in. That's Winters and Meyer. Indiana is trying to set a double screen over here on the side. They'll probably flash somebody back out on top. Alford will get the ball, and then they'll reverse it back to Alford, whichever side he should go to. Let's wait and see.
Pick comes down on Douglas. Here you see Todd Meyer, but Steve decides to go the other way.
16 minutes remaining to be played. 38-34 Indiana. The Hoosiers wanting the good shot. Callaway, and he's fouled. Anthony Welch, the 6'9" senior from Grand Rapids, picks up his 2nd.
Well, the one great attribute that Callaway adds to the Indiana offense is that ability to drive to the basket. We've seen so many times this year he takes that dribble right to the dotted line and kind of shoots that scoop shot, a real soft shot, and is able to get it that time on the baseline drive. So you play him up tight, he drives around you, you fade back on him to stop the drive, and he's able to make the jump shot. He'll be a great player in the Big Ten before his career is over.
He started out like a house of fire in non-conference play at the free throw line, hitting pretty close to 90%. And then all of a sudden tapered off, and he's right at 69% on the season. Hits the 2nd. He has 7 points, and we have timeout here at Assembly Hall. Tonight's game between Indiana and Illinois being played at Champaign, Illinois. The score, the Hoosiers 39, 16,349. Watching the Hoosiers hold on to a 5-point lead over their hometown favorites, the Fighting Illini, 39-34. Joe Smith.
Well, the Hoosiers off to only 2 of 5 shooting in the second half, and for the game now, hitting under 50%. The Illini pulled even 16 of 32 on the ball game. They've hit 2 out of 4 here in the early going. 39-34 with 15:53 to play in the ball game.
You see Winston turning back to the team with a clap in his hands, trying to get things going. Indiana in pretty good position here with a 5-point lead. Daryl Thomas still on the bench. The coach hasn't felt the need to put him in yet.
Douglas and Norman playing with the ball. Inside it goes to Norman. And he gets an easy two. Ken Norman just makes a great post move over the shorter Indiana for his 13th point. Illinois showing patience. They're back to within 3. Oh boy, momentarily Harris was open. Callaway didn't see him. There's the lob to Harris, and he's fouled. Norman picks up his second. That's the 3rd against Illinois in the second half.
Norman having a pretty good game, and Andre's been putting that arm in the air where he wants that pass. It's been pretty crowded. That time Indiana able to get the pass in, and before Andre gets the shot, the foul.
Comes right into Callaway. Out of bounds, Indiana.
Now there you see why Illinois is a good help side defensive team. Winters came right over and knocked that lob pass away.
If our camera could isolate watching Douglas take Alford, he really forced him, after the last inbounds, really forced him almost underneath the post on the bucket as Alford tried to reverse and get open for the ball. Now he goes out for screen, but no shot.
Good help by Welch that time.
Callaway scores. The basket counts. The foul is on Illinois. Anthony Welch, his 3rd. Boy, that is a big basket for Rick Callaway.
Well, Welch on the foul that time, and he fouled after the shot. That's his 3rd foul, but the foul was on Alford, who was setting the pick. And so Indiana's going to get the ball out of bounds. Here's the pass. Alford setting the pick, and right there's the shove by Welch. So the shot gets away, it counts, and Indiana's got the ball out of bounds.
Oh, there it is. He slid behind a double pick on the opposite side. Steve Alford has 18, and the Hoosiers are back up to a 7-point lead.
A big series right there as Indiana gets 4 points to take a 3-point lead all the way to 7.
We're inside 15 minutes remaining. And if the Hoosiers can keep this up, they'll win a big one on the road. Norman. A little back cut. Douglas tries to move on Morgan. Weisinger inside, and it doesn't go, but we have a foul against Indiana, and that's on Todd Meyer, his 1st.
Indiana concentrates so much on the big man that one of those guards slides in there. You got to come off quickly to try to stop that play, and this is one way that Illinois can get Indiana. You see the players inside. They've got to come off their men, and that leaves Winters and Norman right there for the rebound position. So without a foul that time, Illinois had an easy rebound basket.
Tony Weisinger, 79% from the charity stripe, hits his 1st. And Scott Mintz will check back in. Here he is, number 30.
Illinois lineup, number 30, Scott Mintz,
replaces Anthony Welch. Welch sits down, averages 11 points. He is scoreless in this game. Good look at the young man from Peoria. 43-38. The Hoosiers by 5. Morgan brings it right into the attack zone. Morgan. Oh, yes.
Well, Winston doing a great job out there with the assist, but you can't leave him open at 15 feet. He's able to make that shot. A big basket for Indiana.
45-38. Hoosiers again by 7. Their largest lead has been 8. Here's Norman. He goes to the basket. It will count, and the foul is on Callaway, his 4th.
Harris tried to go for the steal, and he gets out of position. There you see Meyer, and now Harris leans for that steal. He misses it. That leaves Callaway to help, and a bad foul that time as he slaps the ball low. Norman goes in for the shot, so Callaway comes out. That'll bring Daryl Thomas back in the ballgame.
Daryl playing with 3 personal fouls, seeing his first action in the second half as Ken Norman, the junior from Richwoods High in Peoria, misses the free throw, gets it right back. Norman takes it in over Meyer, misses, and oh, Todd gets a big board. That is his 3rd. 45-40, Indiana. Alford Inside Thomas, and he's fouled Scott Mintz over the wrist as Thomas turned back to the glass. Mintz's first foul. That's the 5th against Illinois.
One thing Indiana did well last Sunday against Ohio State was make those free throws down the final stretch. 2 more fouls would put Indiana at the line. 13:36 left to go in the half.
They bring it back on top. Alford tries to come off 2 picks. Andre Harris. I don't know if that shot was partially blocked or just an air ball. Here they come. Weisinger. Norman loses it out of bounds.
Good play by Andre that time as he missed the shot at one end and hustled down the floor, was able to knock that ball so that Norman couldn't come up with it.
Well, the Hoosiers are in control, but it's going to be a hard-fought game. They lead by 5, 45-40. Morgan. And it's out of bounds off Alford's knee. That's good defense by Douglas.
Same type of play as Winston and Alford had trouble getting that pass together. You see Coach talking to Winston. Fake that pass outside, try to go inside.
Illinois with a chance to pull within 3. And we have 13 left to play. Scott Mintz wants to go inside. Weisinger outside. Yes!
If you're going to give up a shot, it's got to be an outside shot to Douglas or Weisinger, and then you got to make sure you're blocked out inside. But Weisinger's a good shooter.
45-42. Indiana needs 2 here. Bounces inside. Out of bounds. Indiana knocked away. Weisinger, away from our cameras, got a hand on the ball. The fans disapprove.
Illinois is trapping now. When Indiana takes the ball inside, Illinois drops a guard back in for a double team. That time the ball went out of bounds. The other thing is when Todd Myers at the top of the key here, see he takes 6'10" Mintz out of the inside picture with him. So that should be an advantage for Indiana to keep a 6'10" player out high.
Alford, it's off the front of the rim, knocked away. And they call the foul over the back. Oh boy, that brings this crowd up. Darrell Thomas picks up his 4th as Ephraim Winters turned back up court, stopped and backed up, and Darrell Thomas was in the way.
It looked like Darrell just lost his balance here. Let's watch. He's going for the rebound, now going for the ball again. But you see, he thinks Norman's going to run, or Winters going to run down the floor. And as he moves down, he stops in the foul.
We have a timeout. You're watching Indiana basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. Indiana at Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois. It's Indiana by 3, 45-42. And a statistical game that has swung back in favor of Illinois. Joe?
No question, Chuck. They're hitting 6 out of 9 here in the first, 6-7 minutes of the second half. Right now, 67% in the second half and 19-36 for the ball game. A couple of things are happening right here. Although the Hoosiers are getting the ball into scoring position, I tell you what, the ball is just not going in the hole. 5 out of 10. 4 personal fouls, Callaway and Thomas. This is going to be tight.
All right, here we go. Illinois can pull back to within 1. And the foul situation is precarious for the Hoosiers. Douglas with 10 points. Scott Mintz high over his head to Weisinger. And they go right inside. Ephraim Winters. Oh, that's a great block by Andre Harris and gets the board. Gets the loose ball.
Now, good help on the weak side that time. And when Andre can help from the weak side, there's a lot less chance of drawing that foul. You can see how high he got up to block that shot.
They're laying off Andre. He's not going to shoot from there. Andre tries to set a screen. Now posts. And it's out of bounds, Indiana.
Illinois playing some good post defense in there, not allowing that pass to come inside. Let's watch the other end now. Andre comes to help off. Whoa, that's got to be at least 11.5, 12 feet up in the air when he knocks that ball away, but is still able to come up with it. Very good play.
It's up in your range, John.
Well, I don't know about that. Coach Knight with a very good 20-7 record against the Illini, but Illinois won the last 2 ball games here at Assembly Hall.
Andre Harris, it's an air ball. Here comes Douglas. Weisinger. Oh boy, we've got a game. 45-44 as Weisinger hits for his 10th point. Little fella gets a hot hand, and John Laskowski, you're absolutely right. He and Douglas can open it up from outside.
Now Illinois back in that 1-2-2 zone with Scott Mentz at 6'10" on the point. Stu Robinson in the ball game for Indiana.
Robinson to Morgan. Alford all alone. Yes. Yes, sir, Steve. Attaboy.
So one thing about that Illinois zone is Douglas stays in one area, whereas Alford can run the baseline and get away from Douglas. That time under the basket with that shot. So I think the zone will favor Alford. He has not taken a lot of shots here in the second half.
Looking at the two coaches, Bob Knight wanting his 333rd win at IU and his 435th, and Lou Henson in his 11th year here at Illinois. Weisinger, Alford lays back and he throws it away. That's Indiana ball. That's a big turnover for Indiana, leading by 3. If they could build their margin to 5 with 10:40 remaining, it puts them in just a little better control position.
So Winters was moving up toward the passer that time when the pass was led toward the baseline.
Now let's see what Robinson does to set it up. Now Alford at the point. Robinson will fire. He hits. Oh, boy.
Well, that's tough to do, Chuck. He sits on the bench for 3/4 of the ball game, comes in, and 30 seconds later is able to hit the shot. Maybe we'll see Robinson head toward the point and Alford to the free throw line extended next time down the floor.
We have timeout. Indiana basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. The Hoosiers lead the Illini 49-44. Or Michigan State defeats Michigan 74-59. John, that's a big one, and if Indiana knew that right now, I don't think it'd make any difference, but the Hoosiers can move into sole possession of Big Ten lead. Here it is.
Right now they announce it on the loudspeaker, and this crowd has just gone wild, so obviously both the players, all the players on both teams have heard that, and Alford and Thomas really, Steve Alford going around to all his teammates now telling them, come on, let's go. Indiana knows if they win this ball game, they're in first place in the Big Ten.
Snaps that 24-game winning streak at Chrysler Arena, too. They had not lost a home game since Indiana beat them to open up the campaign in '85.
We are inside 10 minutes. The Hoosiers with a 5-point lead, 49-44. 21 is Glenn Blackwell in at that timeout. Weisinger and Blackwell, they still want to post. He fires, it's missed, and right into the hands of Alford. That's good position by Thomas and Alford.
Daryl Thomas had the good position, just couldn't get up as high as Illinois did. Good play by Alford.
And he's fouled. He takes it right to the basket, and Norman comes over the back.
Well, Indiana's just playing smart basketball right now, Chuck. It looked like Illinois was right back in the ball game. Now a 5-point game, and Indiana's making the big plays when they have to. I think announcing that score really helped Indiana. Watch Daryl Thomas going inside. Look how big the Illini players are inside, and yet Daryl's still trying to go inside. A far cry from the 30 points he scored in the first meeting between these teams, but he's still got to play tough in this last 9.5 minutes, getting some rebounds. He doesn't have to score a lot of points right now, but he's got to keep Illinois from scoring inside.
44, Anthony Welch back into the lineup, replacing Blackwell for Illinois. Lou Henson tries to get some height back on the boards. They have plenty of height in there right now. I just assume they go to their shorter players. But then again, they don't have any.
Well, Daryl much smoother on his free throws now, too. Looks like he's concentrating a lot more. A lot better form than we saw him earlier in the year.
Indiana by 7, 51-44. 9.5 minutes left. Let's watch. Welch takes it right inside. Loose ball. Oh, boy.
Steve Alford. Alford slapped that ball away at the free throw line. Again, another big play.
Important 2 here. Who do you go to? This fella?
Let's run some clock down. See if Illinois makes a defensive mistake. And there it is.
Oh, what a feed. Oh, my gosh. That is just perfect. Andre Harris to Daryl Thomas.
Now, again, Chuck, that score really spurred Indiana on. I think these kids all realize this is the battle for first place. Look at them as they run off the floor.
We have timeout. You're watching Indiana basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. Indiana leads the Illini 53-44.
Come on, we got to get going.
Give me your car keys.
What?
Give me your car keys. I'm driving.
Relax, will you? I'm okay.
Then how come you're...
Points Joe, that's got to be a real key in the latter going of this game. Look at this. There's the little feed. Here's Thomas. That's the thing that Coach always talks about. Coach Knight, obviously, we're talking about when he says be aware of where you are and where your teammates are.
There's that big final we talked about. Michigan State has beaten Michigan twice now up at East Lansing. There's a second half score, about 4 minutes left in that ball game. Purdue with a 4-point lead. So halftime score, Iowa 52, Wisconsin 23. But Michigan State with the big upset today at Ann Arbor, giving Indiana a big chance here.
All right, let's see what Lou Henson's tried to adjust during this timeout. Weisinger. And that's 2. Ephraim Winters apparently bringing him back to the free throw line. Winters has good range, and that's his 3rd field goal. Now they're going to press the ball. Sort of a token press, however, as Indiana breaks it easily. A little fumble there by Robinson, but he gets it under control. Inside. Thomas is curling up off the baseline from side to side. They're trying to hit him as he cuts through.
Look at Scott Mentz at 6'10" on Winston Morgan. So Illinois not matching up well at that position, but when they turn around, Indiana won't match up well.
Alley-oop pass by Morgan, just a little bit too hard over the outstretched arms of Andre Harris. 53-46 inside. Norman with a great move. They call it. Oh my gosh, they call the foul on Thomas. No foul. Holy mackerel. The basket will count. Let's look again. Maybe you see something I don't. Maybe we'll have a chance to look at it.
Darrell disagrees. Coach Knight going right to the bench with Todd Meyer. Now watch low here as Darrell gets his feet tangled up right there. Actually, Norman just stepped on Darrell's foot, so the call goes against Thomas. Indiana makes that substitution as Todd Meyer comes in for Darrell.
Darrell fouls out at the 7:47 mark.
There you see Darrell talking to Con Smith, saying, I was just standing there and the guy tripped over me, and I got the foul call against me. As I mentioned, Norman leads the Big Ten in field goal percentage.
53-48, so Illinois right back in this. The Indiana is going to have to play some smart basketball. It's missed, and Harris pulls it down. Andre playing with only 2 fouls. He does not have any in the second half. So the Hoosiers by 5. Alford, 20 points to lead both teams. And you look now how critical that alley-oop miss down at this end was. Alford fires. Oh, yeah, that a boy, Steve.
Well, Bruce Douglas has got to be talking to himself now. He's playing good defense. He's getting a hand in the face. And Steve Alford with 22 points.
55-48. Once again, Indiana by 7. Up in the air. It's going to count. Harris off his feet. That's a no-no, Andre. And Norman has 19.
Another chance for a 3-point play. Andre's got to let the ball leave the player's hand and then go up for the block. That's when he does the job inside. You can see Norman's got the inside position. Stu can't make the steal. And now Andre gets right off his feet. And Norman, being a smart player, is going to draw that foul and make the basket.
Illinois can pull within 4. We have 7:05 left to play. Boy, oh boy, I'd hate to see Indiana lose this lead.
Well, Illinois is a tough team. They keep coming right back at you, especially on the boards. Indiana's got their work cut out for them to win this ball game.
7 minutes remaining, 55-51. Indiana with the 4-point lead. And the foul as Douglas comes up just a little bit too close, and Steve, very smart, takes it right into it.
Puts Illinois over the limit now, so Indiana, both teams now over the 7 foul limit. Both teams will be at the 1-and-1 line. This time Steve Alford for Indiana.
Well, we were telling you what Sam Alford said earlier, that he felt that Steve's problem at the line was confidence. Not a positive look at the free throw. Let's see whether or not Steve has it back. The orange flags come out, and the first one is good.
Looking into his eyes, it looked like he's got that concentration. He went 14 out of 15 against Ohio State. That's a good way to snap out of it.
And the second is good, 24. Steve has 57-51, a 6-point Indiana lead inside 7 minutes. Douglas from Quincy, Illinois. There's the post. And high in the air, Andre Harris. I'll tell you, you can see him emerge out of the crowd.
10 rebounds tonight.
Now that's one of his better.
Good offense here as Morgan and Robinson play catch outside. Hoping Steve Alford can get open inside off a Andre Harris or Todd Meyer pick. And in the meantime, running time off that shot clock right now down to 19 seconds.
Alford's shot is missed, and there's a foul that's going against Norman as Harris saw the air ball, stepped in for the shot, or for the board, and Norman's fourth. Now, John, let me ask you, with 6:09 remaining, does this change the way Norman has to think about the game, and does it change the way Bob Knight looks for the ball to go inside?
Well, I don't think so. I think Indiana's still going to look for Alford on that shot. You know, Illinois' got so many big inside players, they can just bring another guy in there, whereas Indiana does not have that luxury. And now you're going to see the free throws become again important as they were against Ohio State for Indiana.
Well, Andre, with a lot of confidence, his first 2 points were free throws, and his technique does look a lot better.
He was just aggressive that time, going for an offensive rebound, ends up getting himself a point.
Oh, he got 2.
7 of 8, Chuck, in the second half. 11 of 12 for the ball game.
Indiana's lead is 8 with 6:05 left to play. The Hoosiers have to stay out of foul trouble and score the points. More importantly, keep Illinois away from the basket.
They're going to give that outside shot to Douglas. Look at Robinson right back there on Mintz.
Out of bounds. That's going to be Indiana's ball as Ken Norman just took his eye off of it and let it slip through his hand.
Defensive pressure has really been important. Lou Henson really working that sideline, but defensive pressure has been a big key for Indiana, forcing those turnovers. 13 in the ball game now for Illinois.
Here's Morgan. Once again looking for Alford, a whistle, and that's a foul on Andre Harris, a moving pick. Tom Rucker caught Harris as he tried to slip down and give Alford just a little assist on a screen. You see Steve talking to him.
Steve moves around so much, it's hard to get set knowing he's going to come around you. And that time Andre just wasn't set. Douglas runs right into him to draw the foul. Now Coach calling Steve over for a little talk.
Well, now the Hoosiers are in a passel of trouble. Thomas is fouled out. Callaway with 4. Harris with 4. And at the line is Bruce Douglas. Douglas over his average with 11 points. 72 steals. And he had a couple here tonight.
For the Illini, number 21.
The Illini have brought Glenn Blackwell back into the lineup. He'll replace Norman as... Well, Lou Henson.
That's an interesting substitution.
Yeah, it sure is. I wouldn't take him out.
Norman comes out of the ball game, so Illinois with 3 guards in there, Blackwell, Weisinger, and Douglas. They may be going to some full court pressure here, Chuck. Mentz and Winters are the 2 big players. Indiana brings Callaway into the ball game. He's got 4 fouls.
All right. Here's Douglas, and again, ours is not to question. Misses. Mentz gets the board, back up and scores. Well, there's where the height comes in handy. Scott Mentz. And it's a 59-54 5-point game. 5.5 left to play. Oh, is the clock important here?
You see Illinois going through that zone. Looks like a 3-2. Blackwell at the point. Indiana with Alford holding the ball outside. This will give Indiana a chance to run the 45-second clock, but they've still got to be able to get that good shot away. So Illinois is giving up a little time on the clock to force Indiana into an outside shot.
Now Indiana goes into its motion. Morgan takes it left side. 7 seconds. 2 points, yes sir. Attaboy, Stu.
He made the big plays in that first half at Bloomington to bring Indiana back to a halftime lead, and now he's made a big jump shot.
61-54. Indiana by 7. Weisinger. Oh my, holy mackerel. 4.5. Now, since the last time we talked, 1 minute has ticked off. It's 61-56.
Now Illinois goes to the man-to-man. They're trying to force that turnover. They've got quick players in there to do it.
Morgan's done an excellent job of running the offense from the top. 4:10. That's the time remaining. Indiana by 5. Oh, he calls a turnover. I don't see how Tom Rucker can make that, but Bob Knight is up. He's not protesting. He just says, let's settle it down. Might have tapped the ball a couple of times on the feed.
Norman back in the ball game for Illinois, and Indiana with Todd Meyer right in there. So it looks like Meyer will be put on Norman. Callaway sits down. With Norman out of the ball game, Coach Knight could put Callaway in, but there's no way Callaway's going to stop Norman with the size difference. So Callaway comes out of the ball game.
Illinois can pull to within 3, 61-56. Here's Norman on the post, high post. Lob to Mentz. And the board to Andre Harris. 11. His best game. .340 remaining. The Hoosiers by 5. A basket here would mean a lot. Steve handling. That's the first time he's handled the ball on the last 3 conversions.
Well, he's holding the ball out top now, but when it gets down to time to run the offense, I think you'll see him run inside. There he goes.
13 seconds left on the shot clock.
Five
6
seconds.
Harris. It won't fall.
Boy, Indiana got a good shot that time, as Harris had about a 5-footer.
Here's Mentz. 2:57. Inside 3 minutes. Douglas. That's off the rim. No good. And tipped up. Oh, Todd Meyer with a big board for Indiana. That's 4 for Todd. He's played a whale of a game on the boards, one way or the other, regardless how the outcome of this game turns out.
He's got to guard Norman, and the other big matchup is Winston Morgan on the 6'10 Mentz, and Illinois has not gone into him, and Winston blocks out to keep Mentz from getting the rebound.
Illinois has to come out 2.5 minutes.
And he has got that high offense set with all their players above the free throw line extended, looking for that backdoor cut now.
Oh, there's a weak pass out of bounds. That'll go to Indiana. That was actually blocked by Weisinger. Now let's check to see, does Indiana want timeout? No, substitution. Mentz is out of the lineup. Back in again is Blackwell.
Illinois needs that quickness at the guard position. Try to force a turnover. 12 seconds left on the shot clock.
All right, let's watch what Robinson does with it. He looked to Alford, and he's got it. Will he drive on Weisinger? He hauls up, fires, no good.
Good defense by Weisinger there.
Now Tony initiates the offense. Blackwell, we're inside 2 minutes. Indiana 61-56. They want him to fire. He does. He scores. Oh, boy, we've got a game. 61-58. Now the pressure. Minute 42. And Indiana calls timeout. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. You're watching Indiana basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network. Indiana leads Illinois 61-58. 40 remains. You see some statistics. These are the cumulatives to this point, and Indiana trailing in field goal shooting. Rebounds, however, big surprise.
That's the big one. Indiana with 3 rebound advantage. Let's watch the offense at the last end. Weisinger just one-on-one. Makes a jump shot, brings Illinois within 3 points. Indiana with that timeout. Well, a basket would be very important right here. After about 40 seconds run off the shot clock. Well, 37 seconds left, so get about 30 seconds off that shot clock, get 2 points. That'd leave a minute 10 seconds left for Illinois.
It comes into Alford, and Weisinger is on Alford. Now they double. There's a trap, but they get the ball to Robinson. Indiana with a minute 32 seconds, 28 seconds on the shot clock. Cross court to Alford. He will not shoot. Wants somebody to go to, but nobody's guarding him. He can stand and hold the ball. And the clock runs out. That's a big turnover, and no production for Indiana out of that except to run time off the clock. A minute 13 remaining. Now Illinois with a chance to pull to within one, 61-58.
That's a situation where Alford and Robinson really have to be at the point, controlling the ball. Callaway got trouble with that trap and had no one to go to.
That's the 13th turnover by Indiana. The turnovers are even, 13 each. Well, we have a nail biter. 109, 108. Douglas trying to direct the offense. Robinson, that's a mismatch. This is the man that has the hot hand. He fires over Alford. It's no good. The rebound is up and in by Blackwell. It's 61-60. Pressure. And across court. Oh, they call an over and back. They call an over and back. Now, I think they're going to change the call. Burl-Sell is over there. Let's watch and see. I can't remember whether that rule has been changed or not, but the impetus of the ball, if I remember, has to be over the line, John.
Let's watch now. There's the call by Eric Harmon, and both officials discussing what's going on.
It's Indiana ball.
Has stepped in and ruled the other way, so Indiana will get the ball out of bounds.
The shot clock has to be reset. Now they're going to have a discussion because the shot clock with 40, well, apparently the shot clock is off. Now they put 45 on the clock and tick it off. Let's wait to see where they stop it.
43 seconds left on the game clock. So there'll be a difference of 5 seconds on the 45-second shot clock. And that's going to be a big difference because Indiana can run this.
Well, I think
this clock down quite a ways before they have to take a shot.
All right, the ball was not dribbled over the line. And they made this rule change about 2 or 3 years ago. That the impetus of the ball, in other words, the ball has to be taken over the line. You can have 1 foot across and step back over as long as you have not dribbled over the line. Illinois has called timeout. Let's take this break. 43 seconds left. And we'll return in just a moment. You're watching Indiana basketball on the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network, Indiana 61-60.
I'll never forget that cold, rainy day we moved into our first home. All we had was a couple of old lamps, a few cardboard boxes, and a watercolor that we got on our honeymoon.
What a day. Well, how about, over the fireplace?
What do you think?
Perfect.
We've lived in lots of different houses since then, but they've had one thing in common. They've all been protected by a homeowner's policy from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about over the fireplace?
Oh. Actually, they've had 2 things in common.
How do you like it?
Bravo! That's nice.
Well, Joe Smith, Andre Harris appears to be putting games back to back. He had an excellent one the other afternoon at Ohio State. 11 rebounds here is his best Big Ten game on the boards.
Yeah, you got to go all the way back, Chuck, to Texas Tech back in the Classic in December. Their rebounding advantage is 25-23 right now. In the second half, Indiana leads at 11-9, but Harris now with 11 rebounds, and Winston Morgan, according to my stats, with 10 assists. Get ready, huh?
Oh, yeah, get ready is right. John, how do you feel?
Look for Indiana to go to Alford, let him hold the ball as much as he can. That's the guy Indiana wants at the foul line.
There he is. He has the ball. And they have Douglas on him now. Gets the ball across the line. And there's a trap. Lays it off. Fans are standing in front of us. We'll have trouble. There's 25 on the shot clock, 29 on the game clock. There's a difference of 5, actually.
And you're looking at the game clock right there.
Inside, Callaway. He brings it back out. 20 seconds on the game clock. 13, 12, 11, 10 now on the shot clock. Cross court. Callaway, 3 seconds.
Need a shot here.
Alford, it's blocked. And they want what? Timeout? Illinois takes timeout. We'll stay here.
Douglas blocked it.
2 seconds left on the clock. Now, let's set something here, John. He calls timeout in front of the down official under the Indiana basket. The inbounds is under the Indiana basket.
Right there, Burlsell, there's Eric Harmon. Burlsell under the baseline with the ball, so it will be out of bounds under the baseline. I saw a game this week, though, Chuck, so here's the replay on that. Indiana did not make an effort to move the ball to score, and Ephraim Winters makes a big play as he blocks Steve Alford's shot, and right away Douglas sitting right in front of the official calling that timeout. So Illinois might take a chance of getting the ball to half court and calling timeout immediately, but they almost need to have some kind of full court pass, or at least a pass where the player's moving down the floor toward the Illinois basket.
Where we have so many exuberant fans and officials around us, we have some soft
We had some soft
drinks, yeah, up in front of us here. It's been spilled all over my stats, all over Joe's stats. John, of course, being elusive as he was when he played, has managed to evade all of it.
There's the Indiana Brain Trust. Con Smith, Dr. Brad Bomba, Royce Waltman, Ron Felling.
Dr. Polson is here. Sam Carmichael, who played 7 seasons on the PGA Tour, and the women's golf coach at Indiana is also here. We have a lot of fans here tonight. 2 seconds remaining. Burlsell with the ball. You see the score. Does Indiana play defense, John?
Well, I think they're going to have to pressure full court. They'll probably call a timeout here once they see what Illinois is setting up. You can see Royce Waltman is marking down where the players are. Indiana's going to call another timeout here and make Illinois set up again.
All right, there's Steve. He's over, makes the call to the official, and we're going to take another break.
You know, it's interesting, fellas. We just go back to the last couple of games. You know, we were talking a little earlier about Indiana's free throw shooting. Only 7th in the league, but very deceiving, because I don't think down the stretch, John, you can maybe touch on this too, there's not been a better team under pressure down through the years when there's been a Big Ten championship on a line, and Indiana has been prolific at the free throw line. And really, their 72% is a misnomer. Illinois tonight started out the night leading the Big Ten in free throw shooting, hitting almost 81%. They're only 6 of 11, and that's where the difference has been. And you got to go back to even last January when Indiana actually won the Illini ball game, outscoring Illinois 21-9, and even last Sunday held the advantage by 13 points, hitting 26 free throws on the road at Ohio State.
John, Indiana has inserted Todd Jadlow, 6'10", into the lineup. I'm going to just come out on a limb right now and say I would not be surprised to see him defend the inbounds pass.
We may see that. Again, the important thing is prevent that full-length court pass and force Illinois to come toward the basketball to get it. So you've got to turn, change direction, and dribble down the other way in order to get a shot away. Any kind of shot that Indiana can force Illinois from beyond half court will be a good one.
All right, 2 seconds remaining. There's the score. Oh, if the Hoosiers can come away with a win here, automatically into first place, 10-3. As Michigan lost earlier this evening to Michigan State. 16,000. And 349 for tonight's game, and I doubt if there's been a fan leave. I will say one thing. And, of course, we're on sort of a high right now, Indiana with a 1-point lead. But the crowds over here at Illinois have always been very appreciative of good play by opposition.
All right, Jadlow comes in the ball game, and Steve Alford is out of the ball game. Indiana's got their defensive players in. Harris and Meyer all the way back at the Illinois end, the free throw line. Callaway and Morgan are at half court, and now Jadlow's going to watch Douglas out of bounds. Weisinger's all alone here at the free throw lane, and now Morgan's going to come over to put some pressure on him. Let's watch.
Burlsell indicates where the ball will be spotted. And there's the hand, and it comes up deep at the free throw. And he fumbles the ball and drops it. Did he have possession? No, he didn't have possession of the ball, but they still give him a timeout.
All right, that's exactly the point I made. They throw the ball to half court, quickly call a timeout, and no time runs off the clock. It still shows 2 seconds, and there's Coach Knight looking at the scorer's bench. So a heads-up play, and I wouldn't have believed this could happen unless I saw it this week earlier. And there's Coach Knight discussing it. He wants to know why there's no time off the clock. So if a player catches the ball and calls timeout right away, he's taking a chance that clock won't run down. So now the advantage goes to Illinois, because now they've got the ball at half court.
Absolutely.
And a much better position to throw the ball in, get a 20 or 15-foot shot And there you see Coach Knight not agreeing at all.
All right, now the two officials are talking. I don't know what Tom Rucker and Burl Sell are talking about. It's going to be Illinois ball, and now Bob Knight wants him again. I'm almost certain that Bob Knight is protesting the fact. Now watch the pass.
This is slow motion again. Now watch when Norman gets the ball.
But he doesn't have it.
And then immediately calls timeout. He's already signaling the timeout there. As the ball, as he signals the timeout, the ball leaves his hand. So if the referee was looking right at him, he saw him signal timeout, he can call that right away. So I think that that 2 seconds was a good play. Indiana just didn't put enough pressure on the ball. Of course, you don't want to foul in that situation. No. All of a sudden now Illinois is at the line within 1-1. So a smart play on Illinois' part. Now Indiana's really got to buckle down on the defensive end.
John, you're being very fair, I think, on that call. And, you know, we're not chastising the official.
Now,
we see the ball slip from his hands.
The important thing now is those 5 players are going to play defense. They can't worry about how much time on the clock. They've got to come out here and play defense for 2 more seconds, and they can be in first place.
Well, they certainly cannot afford to let Illinois punch the ball down deep and give Weisinger any room to shoot, or Douglas, either one. Joe Smith has his fingers crossed. I have my legs crossed. I have a cramp in my left leg.
Well, I tell you what, Indiana owns the best road record in the Big Ten prior to tonight, 4-1. We're not counting our chickens, but tell you what, as soon as we get this thing underway here, and it's been the longest 2 seconds, I think we've played, 11 minutes have gone by.
Chadlow is playing about 5 feet off the inbounds pass, and once again, Burlsell indicating where that pass must be thrown.
Right, now he drops back into face guard. Illinois setting a pick low, trying to get Weisinger open.
It's no good. Indiana wins.
Hello, first place.
Big celebration on the floor as Indiana's at half court celebrating a hard-fought victory. Coach Knight and Lou Henson exchanging handshakes. What a game for Indiana. First place in the Big Ten.
Okay, 61-60, the Hoosiers. We'll be back to continue with our post-game show after we hear from our local stations. This is the Farm Bureau Insurance Basketball Network.
Is only 85 years old, and the game earlier this season.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me the opportunity to play this game of basketball, and I'd like to thank him for giving me the chance to come here to Indiana University and get an education. I'd like to thank my mother and my father for all the love and support that they have given me over the years, because without them, I don't know where I would be.
I really can't top what Winston just said. First of all, I'd like to thank the players in giving me a fine season this year, and also the past players that I've played with. Also, I'd like to thank the coaching staff allowed me to attend Indiana University, play in top-notch program in the country.
I don't have much to say after these 2 seniors, but I guess I should thank Coach Knight first, the coaching staff, because without their belief in me, I wouldn't have been here. You know, one thing they've taught me more about life and than basketball, so it's really going to carry on when I get out here and graduate in May to get out in the real world. And you know, last but not least, it's all you fans. You know, I can hear when I do get in the games. I really appreciate it, and you know, it's easy to block the fans out, but I can hear, you know, I can hear the support, and it's really meant a lot to me, and it will for the rest of my life. Thank you very much.
So that was the scene, folks, as we glance back to last Sunday postgame following the 80-73 victory over the Iowa Hawkeyes. And the trio of Winston Morgan, Stu Robinson, and Courtney Whitty still with a mission, and that's the Big Ten championship.